आ जिंदगी निराहें हूँ तारी साथ चालू। आ जिंदगी निराहें हूँ तारी साथ चालू। तुम्हारी साथ चाले, तुम्हारी साथ चाले, हूँ तारी साथ चालू। मार्ग मारो ऐना पर हूँ विहरू। तुझे मार्ग मारो ऐना पर हूँ विहरू। मुझने खशानो खपना, मुझने खशानो खपना, बची शान चिंता करूं। मारो साथी छे तू साचो, मारो साथी छे तू साचो, बची आनंदे हूँ महलूं। आ जिंदगी निराहें हूँ तारी साथ चालू।
So there are few remarkable observations I would like to share, which I have personally been inspired with. The first, of course, is his homily. He doesn't believe in long masses, he believes in meaningful masses, and hence he researches a lot, he reads a lot, and he tries to connect real life with the readings for the day. Everybody has some takeaways while after the mass, they can relate, and it's put also with a lot of warmth, and the congregation is engaged in listening to what he is trying to say.
અને તેમનો ઉત્સાહ એટલો બધો છે, 70 વર્ષ થયા છે પણ જાણે 30 વર્ષ ના હોય એ પ્રમાણેનો એમનો ઉત્સાહ છે. નવું નવું કંઈક ને કંઈક કરવાની એમની ધગશ છે. લોકોનો પ્રેમ એમની સાથે છે અને પ્રભુ એમને તંદુરસ્ત રાખે અને આગળના વર્ષોમાં આવી જ રીતે સેવા કરે તેવી અમારી પ્રાર્થના છે.
As most vocations, my vocation started in the altar boy sodality. You know, the father in charge of us, Father George Fernandez, he is now promoted for sainthood. So that makes me very happy. He was one of the inspirations I had. Now I always wanted to join the priesthood. But by chance I landed up in Gujarat. I wanted to get to a boarding school. Somehow or the other I got the brochure of Loyola Hall, and that's how I landed up in Ahmedabad. And from there it was history. I finished my SSC in Ahmedabad, went back to Bombay. My mother told me, finish your college and then if you want to join, you may join. So I finished my college in Bombay, and then in 1975, I joined the society. Now I joined a little late because that year there was a rail strike, a national rail strike. Exams were postponed. So I could join the novitiate only in October, middle of the year. That year we were only 2 novices, Father Tony and myself. And those were happy years for us in the novitiate. But we had novices from other provinces also. So that added to the blend of the whole thing. Now, my formation years, I enjoyed very much the times we went out. We went to Dediapada, we went to Sanklit Nagar, that was a slum, and those experiments were very important for me. Now, one thing about my formation was this, that after every stage of formation, I was sent to the missions. After my novitiate, they sent me to Dediapada to look after the hostel. After my juniorate, actually at the end of my juniorate, I was sent to Mariampura to look after the hostel there. Then after that, I went for my philosophy. After philosophy, I was there for Regency. So another time to the missions. And then after my theology studies, I went to Sagbara. After every stage of formation, I had a stint in the missions. Now, novitiate was in Premal Jyoti, juniorate was in Shefali. Those were glorious years. We lived together, we shared our rooms, we shared our study rooms, and our chapel was our dining room and all in one. It was our sitting room and everything. It was a good experience rubbing shoulders with others. Then philosophy, I had a glorious time in Denobli. In those days, we were so many of us, young boys, everything was possible there. We studied well, we had nice fathers, we had good companions as well from different provinces. And then theology. Theology was in Ahmedabad, the regional theologate. I was one of those who had all 4 years of my theology in Ahmedabad, in the regional theologate. Now, talking about my experiences that I had after each formation in the missions, the first stint was with the tribal boys and primary boys. So they were rather easy to be with and good, lovely boys. The second stint was in Mariampura with high school boys this time. These were the Khera boys, so a different type of boys. The third stint was in Sevasi. Sevasi were boys from all over Gujarat and boys who had finished their high school. So it was a different set of boys. And then finally, after the ordination, I was put right into the field where I had not only the boys to deal with, but I had people to deal with. And all my experience with the boys earlier flourished, helped me, because then I could deal with people much better and much easier. Now, all my years of formation were very happy years. I've had good superiors, they've been very encouraging. We've had a lot of opportunities during the years of formation, and there was a lot of competition. Not unhealthy competition, but healthy competition that helped us to go forward. We had people with different talents, people who we could look up to. So my advice to all the young scholastics, remember, take advantage of all the opportunities that you have. Train yourselves, because your focus is your mission. And you train yourself for your mission, you will be a very effective implement in God's work. Okay. When I was a junior, I wanted to change over to brotherhood. I wanted to be a brother because I wanted to go into the field straight away. But Father Coeli said, don't take up a B.Ed, because if you take up a B.Ed, they'll send you into schools. And you are meant for the missions. God has chosen you to be a priest. Forget about being a brother. But one thing was there in me. I wanted to be ready to go anywhere, wherever I was sent. So I decided that I'll train myself in different fields. And I ended up that way. I always call myself God's spare wheel, to be ready to be put into any place that is required. Right through my years, I've been put into different places. See, now I never wanted to be in the teaching line, and I never wanted to be in the formation line. I ended up mainly in the formation line and in teaching, because I hated corrections. But anyhow, I found out ways in which I could shorten my corrections and get the results to the boys. My years with the boys have been very, very fruitful, because much of what I did with them was my interest, things that I loved very much, and we could do that. Some of the art that I used, I've had a little talent for music, even sports. these things helped me very much with the boys. And in my formation with the scholastics and also with the boarding boys that I was with. Even my early years in priesthood, I spent a lot of time with the boarding boys. Now, one of the things that I have imbibed very much, I've learned from the society is making God the center of all that I do. I remember the sign of the cross. That was the first prayer I learnt. And that said, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Not in my name. Whatever I do is in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And I end with, glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit. Not my glory. And that's exactly what St. Ignatius teaches us. Then quite a few things I've learnt in the society, actually as I've grown old, 50 years in the society. One of the things I learnt is to let go of things. Don't sometimes we want things to go exactly our way, but they don't always go. For things that go my way, follow that. Things that don't go my way, let go. That's an important thing. Another thing I learned was about when once I had to punish a boy, and one of the fathers told me he's made a big mistake, a serious mistake, he has to be punished. But remember, Aubry, at the end, he has to experience God's forgiveness through you. And that's an important thing that stayed with me. I am an instrument of I'm a channel of God's love. I am an instrument of God's forgiveness. So at the end of the day, all the people I come in contact should experience God's love and God's forgiveness. I try it to some extent. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, but I'm still trying. As I said earlier, I've been God's spare wheel. I was in the juniorate in Bombay. Actually, I was appointed thrice to the juniorate. The first time, a week before I was supposed to leave, they cancelled the appointment and sent me to start an English course in Surat. The second time I was appointed, a month before that, they told me to go to Nadiyad and start an English course. And the third time that they appointed me, I was not sure whether I would reach there. I came to know for sure only when I reached there. Now, that was the thing. I never expected to be there, God's spare wheel. I was in Bombay with the youngest of the society, the juniors. And then after that, I was transferred straight to Jivan Darshan, to the senior most in the society. A thing that I never expected I would do. Actually, I was afraid. I said, I will not be able, I will manage. But I've been managing so well. I've been managing so far so well. Let's hope things go well. Of course, some of the fathers are happy with me. Sometimes they're not so happy with me. But that's life. And I've learned to let go. So it makes things easier. I have been appointed to the shrine. Now, one of the things that I was told by Father Coeli, he said, you get into parishes and work with young people. Actually, that's what happened to me when I've come into the shrine. I don't have a parish, but it's a lot of pastoral work over here. Every evening we have a mass, every morning we have a mass, and there are a lot of people who come for guidance. Some young people come to talk. There are plenty of university students around the place. So now and then they come and they ask, they've unheard that people come and direct them. So quite a few people come here. So it's a good experience. And every evening, the group of enthusiastic people who come for Mass, they like to listen to what we have to say. And it encourages me to prepare and go for my Mass. If there are occasionally days when I have not prepared and I feel so terrible, but anyhow, this thing, saying the Mass and sitting for confessions and helping people helps me quite a lot. And then now we are going to prepare for the feast, the annual feast. That is one of the mega events in Baroda and in Gujarat. So when that thing goes on, there's a lot of work from our side and a lot of people to be met. People who we meet before the feast, during the feast and after the feast. See, when I go back and think about the things that have happened, especially when things go wrong, I realize that my family has had a great role to play in what I am today. My parents, my father and my mother especially, she encouraged me very much. And I remember the day I was leaving, she said, son, go be a good priest, and if you feel you don't have a vocation, please come back home. And that was those are very encouraging words for me, because I knew I had a place to go back. My family, and especially my sister, who's a nun, Sister Media, many of you will know her, she also encouraged me quite a lot. She was the one who told my mother, let him complete his college studies. After graduation, if he decides to go, please let him go. And I'm grateful for that move, because it has matured me quite a lot. See, when I look back at these 50 years, they're years of gratitude. I have a lot to thank God for. There have been ups and downs, but God has always been present there in times, especially when things were difficult. And as St. Ignatius says, God is present even in our negative incidents, negative actions, negative experiences. I've experienced that very much. And I have much to thank the society for that. The community has always supported me wherever I've been. And I've always enjoyed the community. People have said that I've been a good community man. That's because the others have been good with me. So I've enjoyed the community right through. When I was in philosophy, we were a whole group of young people doing so many things, encouraging each other. And that's what's very important. Now, I got my humor and wit from my mother. She was very, very humorous and very witty. And I still remember, whenever I want to look at something funny, I look into the mirror. And when I look into the mirror, I find something. Whatever I find funny, I can put on somebody else. Now, this humor has helped me a lot in community life, especially when there are tensions and things like that. To say something humorous, you break down the tensions. And people are always a little careful in front of me, because they don't know what thing I'll bring out, but not in the negative way, but that they have to be very careful. Some of them tell me, Aubry, when you're around, we have to be a little careful. Humor is very good for us. We have to learn to laugh at ourselves. The day you can laugh at yourself, you will be the happiest person. Gandhiji said the same thing, we have to laugh at ourselves. Charlie Chaplin said the same thing. Right? We've got to be able to look and laugh at ourselves. See, there have been times when you put up a cartoon on the notice board and people enjoy it. There have been times when you put up a cartoon and people are offended. It has happened a couple of times. But then how I've eased that situation by putting another counter cartoon. So that has eased the situation.
जिंदगी निराहें हूँ तारी साथ चालू जिंदगी निराहें हूँ तारी साथ चालू तुम्हारी साथ चाले तुम्हारी साथ चाले हूँ तारी साथ चालू